Mujahideen is the plural for mujahid, a combatant engaged in a jihad. However, when talking about Mujahideen, people are most often referencing the various rebel groups that fought against the Soviets during the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. When talking about the Mujahideen, it is not a single group that is referenced, but a collection of different groups and parties, all with their own leaders and borders. During the beginning of the Soviet intervention in Afghanistan, resistance was handled by various warlords of different provinces and regions, working independently of each other and fighting for control over their own stake of land. Eventually, after sophistication of the war grew, and the different groups realized they could not continue to fight the Soviet forces independently, this led to the 7 main Mujahideen groups uniting as the Islamic Unity of Afghanistan Mujahideen, sometime between 1981 and 1988. These 7 groups were Shura-e-Nizar, Maktab al-Qadamat, Khalis Faction, Ittihad-e-Islami, Harakat-e-Inqilab, Jeb-e-Najat-e-Mali, and Mahaz-a-Mali, with the first 2 being the combat arms of the political parties Jamiat-e-Islami and the Gulbuddin faction. Altogether, these groups totaled 200 to 250,000 Mujahideen, 75 to 90,000 of which were killed, and a further 75,000 plus were wounded. When looking at who made up the Mujahideen, most of them fall under the category of Sunni Muslims, with the Islamic Unity of Afghanistan represented, although a small makeup of Shiites did fall into their ranks. Ethnically speaking, they were mainly comprised of Pashtuns in the south, as well as Tajiks and Uzbeks in the north. A number of foreign fighters had also taken part in the war as voluntary Mujahideen from other Muslim countries, such as Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Iran, and even Chechens from the Soviet Union. The most notable of these foreign fighters would be Osama bin Laden, a Saudi Arab who would later go on to found Al-Qaeda, an Islamic terrorist organization which became infamous for the September 11th attacks on the Twin Towers. For any full-scale insurgency, you require weapons and training, which was provided to the Mujahideen by the Pakistani ISI, funded by the US CIA. From all around the Arab world, weapons were funded and funneled into Afghanistan through Pakistan. During the US-led Operation Cyclone, commonly smuggled weapons were AK derivatives, British Stens, HK MP5s and G3s, as well as US-built Stinger AA launchers. These weapons were funded by the US, with training provided by the Pakistani Armed Forces and ISI. An estimated $300 billion US dollars, around $900 billion US dollars today, was spent during Operation Cyclone. Things like body armor and helmets were not common in circulation among Mujahideen. There was commonly no standardized uniform. Most Mujahideen just wore civilian clothes, blending in with the local populations. While effective sometimes, it often led to the unnecessary deaths of thousands upon thousands of civilians, as the Soviets purposely tried not to discriminate between who was who. After the withdrawal of Soviet forces from Afghanistan, a power vacuum was left, with the communist government left to defend itself from the Mujahideen. This eventually led to its collapse, with the Mujahideen forces seizing control of the nation. However, strife was caused between the different Mujahideen factions, and another civil war began, a 3-way one between the Jamiat-e-Islami, Hizb-e-Islami, and the Taliban, with the Taliban reigning victorious over the capital Kabul and establishing the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I know it's been a very long time since I've put something out, but I promise I will be bringing you more content, mainly focusing on the Cold War era and probably a bit more stuff about the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, particularly about the factions, specific battles and turning points, and what really defined what it was and how it's affected our world today. But until then, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.